Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is I'm watching RuPaul's Drag Race, Season 15, Episode 10.
50's most gag-worthy stars.
Were you gagging?
No, not really. I mean, Charo's cool. What?
Sure.
Charo's cool.
Okay, this was a good episode.
I mean, it was fine. I was humiliated.
You were cringe. So that's what I almost said most cringeworthy, but then I was like, I don't want to start on that foot because it wasn't really any of the stars' fault.
No, and also
except for maybe Connie's.
Well, yeah, but Lux really made it work, and so it's like that's the thing.
Lux said yes, and you know what?
It was like at least one person with every star was so cringy that also, I like.
Also, it's giving me the Fergie at the national anthem. It's like, you're the one who called and invited Love Connie here. That's on you if it didn't work out the way you thought it was going to.
You need to handle that with your own God.
Sort that out amongst yourselves. Lucy is holding on for dear life.
She is headed straight into the wall. I
really like Lucy. I think she is very talented.
Yeah.
I think he is cute. I don't know that I think they are the type of person that is suited for competition.
It's not bringing out her best qualities.
They call it the delusional queen edit. I guess maybe does she want it too much?
I think she wants it way too much. She wants it too much, and she's also, I mean, I've said it before on almost every episode, she's doing the Jan thing, so it's like every time she's safe, it's like, it's just, I think it's like feeding on her own insecurities. So it's like every time she's safe, she's like, well, I don't know what I'm not doing well enough to stay out here and get critiques for being on the top, and I don't know.
I mean, I definitely, I think that there's a slight, because we did end up watching last week's Untucked, and her and Marcia were talking about it. Marcia was also a little bit like, I don't know what more I could have done.
Yeah. Well, we really like
Marcia. I love
looks,
you,
yeah.
But to that I say more.
Well,
that's what you could have done more.
She's like, I don't know what more I could have done. And I was like, well, you were going for like a Marie Antoinette kind of thing. You could have gone for a Marie Antoinette kind of thing.
Well, no, and I agree with her that I think her, like, the one that she made was very good, but it was like just more all around. But
I think also part of Lucy's issue is that Mistress is trying to get in her head and it's working.
That's the thing, is she's taking it too personally.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of, it's like, oh, well, we wouldn't pick on you if you didn't make it so fun.
Yeah.
And it's like she's giving in to those impulses. And also it's sort of like the opposite of what Sasha is doing, where it's like every time that you shine a spotlight on yourself, it makes it makes us look at it.
Yeah.
And I think if she were coasting, like, I think she sees that as a bad thing, a negative thing. But I think that if she embraced it, she would be faring better. But like drawing attention to yourself is making me be like, well, I don't know. Is this good?
Well, and that's because that's the thing, too, is like there's only been very few comments from Marcia that are similar, where Marcia, she's not so in her head about it, but she is also just coasting. But she doesn't make a fucking stank face every time she finds out she's just safe. So
the Mistress was so funny, too.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We've said it every week, but she has been hysterical. Just a joy to watch. Just sort of like behind the scenes. And actually, Mistress had a little bit of a rough time this week.
Challenge.
This was a hard challenge. They've done this before, but I think it's been a hot minute. I was trying to remember the last time that they like interviewed celebrities.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it's a valid task to give them, but it is very wild card.
Well, and especially like, okay, when me as a person, if I am looking at this going, man, I wish I could interview Frankie Grande. That's when you know that your other two are like such an extreme like wild card, because I literally was like, I mean, I like Charo a lot, but also
I like Charo in concept, but it's like
it's a lot for an interview. That's a lot for a non-seasoned interviewer. That's a lot.
So yeah, we had Charo, we had Frankie Grande, we had Love Connie. I think Frankie.
Well, then Love Connie just feels like a chaos entity.
I think Frankie kind of did what was the most accessible. Mm-hmm. It was Sasha and Marsha were with Charo. And they did decent. Sasha did great.
Yeah.
Marsha smiled. And then she
did what she could.
We had Malaysia, Anitra, and Lucy with Frankie. Lucy actually did do well with that one. Anitra did fine, although Frankie was giving her a lot to work with. And then Malaysia just kind of like, she just really... You could tell she felt out of her element.
Imploding like a dying star. It was really upsetting. I think Lucy did better than Sasha. Sasha was still kind of like stilted a few times with Charo, and I think Rue's excuse, I feel like, was really weak. The like, you didn't ask this one follow-up question. I don't know if I agree. I'm not saying Sasha's bad.
No. We love Sasha. But do you think at this point, Lucy's made enough of a fuss that now production's not going to give her the cookie? She wants it too bad.
Too, is like, because while I think Lucy, for me, I think Lucy won this because I think their runways were equally good. They were both fine. But I just feel like she would have been insufferable in a new and special way if she had won this challenge. So, like, I'm very torn.
She already has 3 wins, so.
She has 1 win, and we don't even remember which maxi challenge she won. So, yikes. But yeah, so I'm very torn about the results of this because also every time Sasha wins something, she seems shocked by it. So I'm very emotionally divided.
And then I did already say it, but I just wanted to say I thought Lux did a great job with dealing
with Love Connie.
In that golf cart.
I just yeah.
That does.
I think I could have for me, I obviously like you said, Frankie Grande is the most accessible, and then I think I could have made it work with Charo. I think I would have shit myself trying to talk to Love Connie.
I think I would rather do Love Connie. The Charo, I unless she came with captions.
The accent, yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do it. I would. I was just talking about the bird sleeping in the tree. And the worst part is I would be like, I don't know, I thought she was talking about a bird sleeping in a tree. And they'd be like, she was. And I'd be like, well, that's even, even further away from it. The runway was Night of 1,000 Beyoncés, or as Anitra said, Night of 8 Beyoncés. I really like Anitra. So by this point, we do know that the looks that they go by, it's usually Getty Images because that's what production will pay for to get the production still. So there were no movie or iconic music video looks.
It's a shame.
Yeah, I've made my peace with it at this point, but it does sort of, because I'm with you. I wanted the Cavalli, the yellow.
From Lemonade.
Mm-hmm. I think this was my favorite Ru look so far this season.
The hair. The dress was beautiful, but the hair.
And especially because I can't tell if it was the runway lighting, because you know how we feel about this runway lighting. Yeah. But there was just these undertones of blush when she was walking down the runway that were just gorgeous. I mean,
if RuPaul's Drag Race does anything, it's that they light the stage with bisexual lights. So it could have just been pink gels. And T.S. Madison.
I love how, what a fan you are at this point.
She's so
She's
great.
such a weird,
And I got so excited because she's, a rotating judge this year. So she's, actually going to... And she's back next week. And her hair is incredible.
Okay, this was great.
Pretty great, yeah.
I knew most of them. There was, 2 in the middle that I was not familiar with. But this is, and RuPaul pointed out, it's a Bob Mackie that RuPaul herself has worn.
Yeah.
And she did a great job recreating it. And I love how much of Beyonce is the hair.
Yeah.
The wig, the big curly. And a lot of personality. Because that would be if I was critiquing Luxx and and it's not that I don't think she doesn't have personality, but she's such the pretty runway queen.
And they were talking about it in the workroom before they did the actual challenge. She's very dry, which can come off as like a blank slate, sort of.
But I think Luxx, she is one of my front runners, and I think that she really nailed this.
Hysterical.
I can't believe it took us.
This makes up for her biffing.
It took us like 3 seconds because when she walked out, we were like, "What in God's name?" And then once we got the bigger picture, I was like, "This is Destiny's Child."
So funny
in the House of Darion Prime, because all I can remember is the Kathy Griffin interviewing them
and those
hideous outfits their mother makes. But
also, I agree. I think it was Rue, or maybe it was Michelle.
Rue.
This is the best Mistress makeup so far, and it's been good the whole time.
I was gonna say, I think it's been good the whole time. She's one of the ones that I have been very wowed or very impressed with her makeup. And not to show her hand too much, but it was the thing that was keeping me from fully investing in Malaysia. Is I think that her makeup needed a little bit of.
But this green too on her, and the sparkly kind of chartreuse oh man, so good. Do you know what? The hair is not quite right though for that Beyonce. Yeah. But it's great. The whole thing's great.
This was excellent.
She looks so good. Michelle was right. That honey blonde hair on her and the purple eyeshadow.
This is the best she's looked this entire season.
100%.
And it's because it's straight glamour.
Yeah.
I know that
because it's not Selena's titties. I feel bad.
Well, I was going to say, I know that she's a bit of a comedy queen, I guess, although they haven't really used that.
She's like, it's like...
she's a personality.
She does like bits.
Yeah. But this is... this was stunning.
Yeah, so beautiful.
And this is one of the ones that the Getty images of it all doesn't even factor in, because I remember this was her first album, the album that they told her there wasn't a single hit on, and they were right, there were 5. She tells that story in her little...
Here's the thing. At this point,
they heard Crazy in Love, Baby Boy, Me, Myself, and I.
You just can't beat. You can't bet against Beyonce. You can't do it.
You were like, I tried for 10 years. It doesn't stick.
I didn't try to bet against her. I thought she was a little overrated for a while. And now I have fully drunk the lemonade.
No, this was fantastic.
Yeah, super beautiful. That yellow color, that golden yellow color looks so good on her too. And the neckline and everything, it's great. And you're right, it's totally recognizable. The hair is, of it, it's like on point.
Showing my hand, I was like, oh, it's identifiably Beyonce, but I was like, I don't know that I recognize this. And then they were like, the 2006 BET Awards. And I was like, well, I don't think I was watching the BET Awards in 2006. And also, this was when our feed was glitching really bad. Yeah. So now that we can see it in proper
high def, it looks fantastic. Yeah.
Although in our 420, oh my God, yeah, she looks just like her.
I forgot how much I like that song.
It underperformed a little bit, and I liked that whole album. Ring the Alarm. Oh, that video is so good.
This is beautiful.
It is. Is it Beyonce?
I mean,
I guess it's not Beyonce.
I think she picked the Beyonce that went the best with her vibe.
I wanted the...
Oh, it's like a... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see. I wanted a boob thing. Yeah, I get it.
So it's like the colors are right, and then the hair is pretty... I literally just said, a third... 40% of Beyonce is the hair anyways. Yeah. But
well, also, it was enough because she biffed her interview with Charo hard, and she still...
I wouldn't say she did it hard.
It was not great. It was a lot of smiling
she coasted.
and nodding. Yeah. But she was safe, so it was fine. Also, she's got kind of a Charo hairstyle going on.
This is good. I recognize this one.
Do you know what would have been?
I don't have a lot to add. It was good.
It's good. She looks like a Crown Royal, a bottle of Crown Royal. Well, I think we're about to get to Lucy's, and that's what I wanted to comment on in a minute. This is fine. This is fine. And especially with the performance, I get it. I just feel like there's other sort of like bodysuits that she could have done, like other Beyonce bodysuits that might have been better.
I'm just not really passionate about it.
Okay, so this was like a pregnancy reveal with who? With Blue Ivy or the twins?
Blue Ivy.
Blue Ivy. So I was like, actually, I guess if it has to be a Getty image, then it wouldn't work. But I was like, if you're gonna do pregnant Beyonce, why didn't you do the like flower thing?
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like because that was for the twins, right? Yeah.
I don't remember. But
that would have been funny.
Yeah, this was the VMAs. I remember because she like unbuttoned the coat. It's
like fine and it's cute. It's not a perfect 1-to-1 because the like Beyonce's sequins are of a much higher caliber. But it's fine. I wouldn't have picked this if it were me, but it works. And I would have put a belly on. She didn't put a belly on. And I think she needs to start padding her hips. It was serviceable, I guess.
Well, I mean, again, I think the wig is what really did the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
So yeah, Marsha and Anitra were safe.
Marsha and Lux, I think, but Anitra was safe as well.
And then the Sasha Colby won, and Lucy was in the top.
She was, yeah. She wasn't immediately safe, but then she was safe after that. And she got real stank face again.
But it came down to Mistress, Selena, and Malaysia. Yeah. And it was Selena and Malaysia dancing to Single Ladies.
Yeah. And Selena won.
I think Selena, yeah, I think she took it. So, yeah, that was...
I was kind of, when we were watching the interviews, before we got to all of them, I was kind of convinced that Selena was in pretty tough shape, especially after being in the bottom again last week. But as we got through it, I think Malaysia, she was just like curling in on herself.
She was a little bit. I think she...
again, with the most accessible of these three guests.
Yeah.
I think that's where it was.
Well, really... I was starting to say, I think Malaysia's... No, I don't know. I was going to say, I started to say that I think her best work was front-loaded because I really liked her entrance look.
Yeah.
But then she did really well going up against Mistress and they did Daytona Wins. And I don't know, maybe we did. I think that Selena's look and probably lip sync was better, but I think maybe Malaysia, because also... I
think Malaysia has more promise, going forward. I think Selena maybe just needs to refine her,
I just don't know that that's going to happen next week.
Well, then maybe she goes up next week.
I don't know. And I think secretly, or not so secretly, Mistress is going to be sad to see her.
Yeah.
Her folly, her partner, her foil.
Yeah.
All around. So, okay. Well, that was RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15, Episode 10.
Yep.
And like and subscribe, thumbs up. If you want to help support the channel, you can head on over to our Patreon, where we are watching the show live, full length, watch along. Yep. And we have a Cashapp and a Venmo and all that stuff. So, see you next week.
Bye.